Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeffrey McGriff, and today I'm going to talk to you about the film Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is a movie that portrays the story of a high school that in the early 1970s was essentially two high schools, a white high school and a black high school that was segregated, was integrated in the state of Virginia. It's T.C. Williams High School, and the coach that was appointed over this integrated football team from the school was Coach Herman Boone, and he was replacing a white coach, Coach Yost, who was, I guess, eligible for the high school Hall of Fame, football Hall of Fame. So immediately in the story, you understand it's set in a time of racial turmoil in the United States, and the film depicts the leadership styles that these coaches used to help guide these young men through this time, through this season. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the movie and the leadership styles portrayed by the actors playing these men, and how they affected the leaders and the followers throughout, how it helped them deal with the internal and external obstacles that laid ahead for them. The early part of the film dealt with just basically the integration. It was a tumultuous time for everyone, for the white and black students. And then these guys were on a football team, and it's, anyone who's played team sports knows that usually it's a close-knit, group of people to be on a football team or a baseball team or a basketball team. And you have to have unity, and you have to mesh as a team in order to be successful in most cases. So the early part of the film focuses on that early meshing part of the team. Coach Boone obviously understands the situation he's walking into, and as a head football coach, he took the directing style of leadership. In my experience, most head coaches use the directing style of leadership quite a bit. He was no different, and you have impressionable young men, and you were trying to mold them into a more focused individual. So anytime you're dealing with youth, a directing style of leadership often is necessary. He definitely embodied that style and used it throughout the film. Coach Yost, his assistant coach, the former head coach of the team, he took a more supportive role. That was kind of their two different styles. Coach Boone was directing. Coach Yost was more supportive. So they kind of played off of each other, and at various times one stepped up more than the other when needed to be. In that early stage, the captains of the team, Julius, who was a young black man, and then Jerry was a young white man, they had a argument early in the film. Julius basically addressed Jerry's job as a captain and how he was supposed to be a leader, and he was letting some of his fellow white teammates, basically, they weren't blocking for the black running back. Jerry was calling Julius out for being a selfish player, not really caring about his team, basically going straight for the quarterback and not occupying his block. And what it basically came down to is they weren't being teammates, and Jerry stepped up and started being a leader and addressed the issue that everyone should play for everybody. And Julius started being more of a teammate, and they basically got over the black and white issue and started focusing on being a football team. and the camp was a success. When they came out of the camp, they weren't just two separate football teams from two separate schools. They were one football team, and it was mostly a directing style of leadership that led them down that path early on. Coach Boone's character was very demanding and didn't give in when it got hard, basically. They went on and basically were winning every game. Their captain, Jerry, eventually got into a car accident, was paralyzed late in the season when they were undefeated. So you saw some of the supportive side of leadership, emotionally supporting the team and trying to just keep them focused on what's important. Basically, the team was torn during that period, and Coach Yost felt like maybe they were focusing too much on football and it should be more on the human side. Coach Boone initially was very, demanding that they stay on track for football. I feel like they both kind of backed off of it. Coach Boone kind of saw the human side of it a little more, and Coach Yost, after talking to the team captain, and he told him, I'm hurt, I'm not dead, Coach. He kind of realized that it was important for him to focus on football from that point forward. So once they get past that tragedy and they're in the playoffs, there's a moment where Coach Yost, I guess, knows that the game is fixed and the referees are pretty much throwing the game. So Coach Boone gets fired, and he steps in and basically puts a stop to it. But by doing this, loses his chance to be in the high school football Hall of Fame. And when he does this, he exemplifies the leadership trait of mission first, people always, which his mission was to mentor these young men. And he put his followers, the people he was mentoring, above himself, because that's what leaders do, at least effective leaders. And he stepped in, he made a personal sacrifice, and he kept his eye on the prize. It was the season and the things these young men had been through that was important, and he made sure that he did everything he could do to ensure that no one harmed that. So that was a great moment of exemplifying mission first, people always. At the end of the movie, Remember the Titans, is really about two individuals, two adults, mentoring a group of young men through a very tumultuous time and laying the foundation for a healthy transition into adulthood in the world that they live in. So ultimately, it's a great human story. It just happens to be about football. It has all the elements of what it takes to be a leader, and that things aren't always going to be easy, and you can't always lead in the same manner. You have to assess each situation and adjust to it in order to be an effective leader. And I think this movie was a great example of that, how the two coaches did that throughout the film, and a lot of these people went on to be successful as adults, and a lot of them found lifetime friendships out of it. Thank you.